What's up guys? Felicia's here with another video. Whoop 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 whoop. Quick story. So I was walking home like a few days ago from the subway to my apartment, and these two little girls were outside like playing. And so girl number one, she does this like dance move and she's like, okay, now you do it. And looks at the other girl. And the other girl's like, okay, yeah, I could totally do that. I could totally do that. Girl number one's like, do it. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, Keisha, me again. And so the first girl does it again. And then the second girl was like, okay. And then the first little girl was like, girl, don't think, do. And I was like, oh. And then it was all over for me. I just went home. I was just like, yes, don't think, do. And honestly, like that is like my mantra for life. I think nothing in this world happens without action. When I was in school, I had a class taught by Michael Mastro. Hey, if you're watching, probably not, but if you are, hey. And he talked to us a lot about action items, and an action item is basically just a task that you can check off, something that you can literally do. And we talked a lot in that class about action items for your career and how to further your career. And so when I was done with school, me and some of my friends started having action meetings where we would meet up, talk about our goals, and then make a list of action items to do to get us to those goals. And over the years, like less and less people were joining these meetings, and eventually it was just my friend Zach and me, and we like still do them to this day. And I find them so helpful. Also really helpful to do it with another person because you can like bounce ideas off of each other, and there's also like you're holding each other accountable. So when you have your next meeting, it's like, so what did you do? Did you do this thing? Oh, you didn't? Well, let's talk about that. Why didn't you do it? Okay, well, let's do it next time. So everyone has their own interests, their big ideas, their dreams, the things that they want their life to look like. And as I said in my first video, I think it's really important to visualize those things and be like, okay, what are they? What does this look like? What does this literally look like? Okay, what are the steps I need to take to get there? And then taking a piece of paper and writing down your action items to get you to that thing. So, is my piercing okay? Is it straight? Is it straight? It's hard to tell. It's okay. It's fine. An example for myself is one of my other goals for this year is to read more books. I definitely fell off the reading train last year. I found myself having a hard time being able to concentrate on a book. My mind was just so full of so many things that I was having a hard time just sitting down and focusing, and was way too invested in like Facebook and Instagram and watching YouTube. But hey, it brought me here. So when I decide that I want to read more books this year, you can't just say, I want to read more books, and then wait for absolutely nothing to happen. My action items in order to read more books this year was first, make a list, a running list that I have in my notebook for me to, every time I see a book that I want to read, I write it down. So the first thing I did was be like, okay, well, what books am I gonna read? And so I started making a list in my notebook of just like an ongoing list that I'm gonna fill out like the whole year of all the books that I come across that I wanna read, put it on the list, put a little like square next to it so I can check it off after I read it. And the most fun thing for me to do was like do some research, which is also an action item. Research is an action item. You're teaching yourself about the thing that you want to do. And so I started going through friends' recommendations of books. I started going through those lists that are like 20 books to read in your 20s, or books that came out in 2017 that'll change your life. Also, like, I love self-help books. I'm learning a lot this year about the power of attraction and the law of attraction, and so some of the books are based on that. And so I started this list, which you'll fill out throughout the year, and then it's like, okay, well, how am I going to read these books? In the exciting day and age of 2018, there are choices about how you're going to read your books. So you can either do Audible, you can buy the actual book, you can buy a book for like your Kindle or whatever. And so I decided that I wanted to be reading 2 books at a time. And one of them would be via audiobook and one would be via hard copy. So, and the reason I did this is because when I'm on the subway, sometimes if I can't get a seat or something, it's sort of hard to just like stand and read. So I'll be like, okay, I'll listen to my audiobook. So on my action list for the first week of January, download Audible, download the book, which when you download Audible, Audible is so hard to say. When you download Audible, you get a free credit for a free book. So it's like why would you not? So I downloaded the first book, and then I purchased a hard copy of the other book. And so started my year with those already in hand. Okay, tasks done. Now all you have to do is read them. And then the last thing was saying like by when, like the deadline for these books. And so after I have my whole list, I decided that I'm gonna read 3 books a month, which is a lot more than I was doing. So it's better than nothing. And so on my monthly goals list, it has those 3 books. And so I have to get those 3 books by the end of the month. This month I'm reading Girl Boss, which I already read, finished. You're a Badass at Making Money, and which is amazing. I'm literally changing my entire life. And then The Secret, which is about the power of attraction. And so I know that by January 31st, I have to have read those 3 books. And so if I can keep this like consistent thing going throughout the year, of having an action item list for my goal of reading more books in 2018, boom, you can do it. Okay, and so here's now the advice section. So in terms of action, I think you should be doing at least 5 to 10 action items a day to get you to your goals. So those are things that you would not normally have to do, but you are choosing to do today specifically to get you to your goals. So, and at least one of those things should make you uncomfortable. One of those things should take you out of your comfort zone, something that you wouldn't normally do, whether that's reaching out to someone you admire, to invite them to your show, and you're like, oh, are they gonna hate me for emailing them? They're not gonna hate you. They're either gonna ignore it, or they're gonna come to your show, or they're gonna say, so sorry, invite me again next time. Not so scary. And then I think you should do one thing a week that scares the living poop out of you. One thing a week that you're like, whoo, that feels a little bold, that feels a little risky, that feels a little scary. That's the thing that's going to propel you forward the fastest, is whatever that really scary thing is. It should be something that literally ignites a fire in you that's like, whoo, if that thing works out, we're gonna be killing it. Toby, no, you drop her. Sorry, my dog was playing with my favorite stuffed animal, and we talked about this, and he knows that's the only stuffed animal in the house he's not allowed to play with. Okay, he stopped. Good boy. My last thing about action items for this video is just like, be fearless. Your action items should be scary. They should be things that are not things that you've ever done. If you plant enough seeds, like, stuff is gonna come back. Stuff is gonna grow. Wherever you're trying to go, you're just gonna get there faster and faster the more action that you take. Sitting around your house and waiting for someone to take action for you, or waiting at your house by the phone hoping that somebody's gonna be like, hey, here's a better job, hey, here's a hotter bod, hey, here's a great opportunity for you and your art. Like, no, you have to fight for yourself, and you have to fight for you. You have to make your own opportunity. Be bold, be confident, be fearless. Who cares? We're all gonna die anyway. You might as well have the best time while you're here. You might as well have the best life possible. You might as well make all of your dreams come true. I can tell you for myself personally, every time I have taken an action item that scares the poop out of me, it has changed my life. It has furthered me. It has opened doors in my life that I never could have imagined possible. I just want to take one more second to say thank you so much to everyone that has been watching these videos that I am putting into the internet. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the likes and the subscribes and the love and the people coming up to me in person and being like, I'm proud of you for doing this. I appreciate that, and I'm proud of myself for doing this. And as much as you want to watch these and share them and subscribe and get your friends to subscribe, all that means the world to me. I'm having a really amazing time doing this channel, and I'm gonna keep doing it because it's making me really happy. Alright guys, that's it for my video. I'm Felicia. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.